TIMA doctors from various countries shared their experiences and thoughts at the 2017 TIMA convention. Tzu Chi volunteers give out aid supplies to residents affected by Mount Agung eruption in Indonesia. Welcome to DaAi Headlines. I'm Siri Su. Thank you for joining us. We begin today's program with some news related to TIMA, or Tzu Chi International Medical Association. TIMA doctors serve those who lack medical resources in different parts of the world. At the 2017 TIMA convention, TIMA doctors from various countries share their experiences and thoughts. As TIMA doctors in Malaysia see the need to expand their services, medical volunteers in Brazil are also reaching out to more people in need. Let's take a look. Tzu Chi's liaison office in Brazil has been established for 25 years. Having joined free clinic services for more than 10 years, Wu Xiuying has returned to Taiwan for the first time to share her experience.
Brazil covers a large area and it faces the problem of the gap between the rich and the poor. As we serve in free clinics, we are doing what Tzu Chi should be doing.
On the other hand, TIMA Forum was held in Malaysia this year with the theme of love that transcends medicine.
We want to establish an international disaster relief team within TIMA. We will figure out how to carry out recycling and home visitations. We also hold study groups in TIMA. Whether it is medical services in the communities or other areas, we want to expand Tzu Chi's services.
Even in wealthy countries such as the United States and Canada, there are forgotten corners. The doctors there have noticed the need for cancer screening, and they also provide TCM services.
If we did not go out, we would not have seen this. As TIMA doctors, if we can leave our clinics and offices, we can see more people in need.
Meanwhile, the directing manager of Commonwealth Publishing also shares his thoughts about humane doctors.
To the medical professionals and doctors, we want to thank you and salute you.
Listening to the sharing, the TIMA members feel inspired to continue their work to alleviate the pain and suffering of the patients. Also in TIMA convention-related news, more than 400 medical professionals from different countries have returned to Hualien, Taiwan to attend the 2017 TIMA convention. Prior to this 4-day event, Tzu Chi volunteers in Miaoli not only ensure the dormitory is in good condition, they also design special gifts to welcome their TIMA families. Meanwhile, Tzu Chi volunteers in central Taiwan also handmade lollipops, allowing their Dharma families to feel at home. Let's take a look.
Whether making beds or tidying up the environment, Tzu Chi volunteers in Miaoli clean each corner of the dormitory, and they want to make sure that the TIMA families feel at home.
I feel very happy arranging the bed sheets and quilt covers, as well as tidying up the dorm for TIMA doctors from around the world. I hope they can live happily.
The volunteers have prepared bedside gifts for the doctors, including Buddhist charms and handkerchiefs. They also mobilized 70 to 80 volunteers to make 1,200 servings of gift by hand.
We hope by contributing our share, we can make our overseas Dharma families feel at home. Since they have been working hard, it's great that they can reunite on this special Mid-Autumn festival.
Among all the gifts, these crystal lollipops are handmade by Tzu Chi volunteers in Taichung. Without adding a drop of water, they decorate the lollipops with petals, warming the daughters' hearts.
For many people, Tzu Chi's most impressive achievement is its ability to mobilize many people to host free clinics. Tzu Chi's skill in this area is very impressive, as our report investigates just how so many doctors are recruited to undertake this important work.
Taiwan has entered a rapidly aging society, and in rural areas, many elderly people either live alone or depend upon a foreign caregiver. This means that many of them are very dependent on free clinics. nurses take the blood pressure for the public, with at least 2 volunteers working with nurses, as having enough manpower is key to executing these free clinics.
I was a little embarrassed about the manpower cost, but then I heard that many of the Tzu Chi brothers and sisters say that care and compassion is the most important part of our work.
Tzu Chi has decades of experience mobilizing such clinics, beginning with the first free clinic held in Hualien on Renai Street. TIMA has held such clinics in 50 countries. As of 2016, more than 13,940 free clinics have been held, with more than 267,000 doctors and nurses mobilized, along with over 480,000 volunteers. The most important part of these free clinics is the willingness of doctors to see patients free of charge.
If our Tzu Chi brothers and sisters find a doctor who is willing to go to remote areas for a free clinic, we will first make contact with him.
I used to go to a registered gynecologist, and I said that I was a TIMA volunteer responsible for recruiting doctors. I told him that I hope he could support this initiative, and because of my contact, he was able to participate.
Many physicians do not actually serve in Tzu Chi hospitals, but join whenever they are needed in a free clinic.
I think TIMA does a good job, so I'm willing to come here and contribute.
Everyone comes and works together as one. This is different from what I normally experience elsewhere. Each person feels like part of one big family.
12 years ago, I came as a substitute for another doctor, and I was quite moved. I saw so many Tzu Chi brothers and sisters who worked and asked for nothing, as this is really something quite special about this group.
Our life should be more than just this, as we should really try to do more.
Early on, TIMA's free clinics were staffed by doctors, nurses, and volunteers. In 1998, TIMA was formed with a roster of physicians, healthcare workers, medical technicians, pharmacists, and volunteers to form a medical service team with a focus on mobile clinics.
According to geography of each area, we'll separate one location into different blocks with one person responsible for a certain area and transmitting information about a number of people.
The mobile clinic is a team where everyone personally knows their own functions and understands that we must work together as a whole team knows their duties.
Tzu Chi has been hosting free medical clinics for some 45 years, sharing the same care and compassion. In the future, it will continue to be committed to this effort to protect the general public's physical and mental health.
In Taiwan, TIMA members and medical volunteers often dedicate their time and efforts to serving patients in remote regions. Although they often have to travel long distances to reach these patients, they're still grateful to serve. Let's take a look at recent house calls in Taichung and Miaoli.
洗完澡之后，你要用那个绵羊油还是乳液，要给它抹一抹。
Zhen Jingxin, who's from Shetou of Zhanghua, has to travel for at least 1.5 hours to go to Zhuolan's mountainous region to serve at the free clinic.
We should pay more attention and ask him questions to make sure he does not take too much medicine.
Comforting this elderly patient, Zhen treats patients much like members of his own family. He was inspired by TIMA when he was a college student. Back then, he was deeply moved to see how the senior TIMA members serve the needy.
When I was a student, I followed Dr. Ji and went to TIMA activities as a Tzu Chi.
TIMA doctors also conduct house calls for patients who cannot leave their homes. They not only care about the patient's illnesses, they're also concerned about their living conditions. As more manpower is needed to conduct house calls, pharmacist Zhen Jingzhu has invited her doctor younger brother and nurse sister-in-law to join her.
Besides serving patients at our clinic, we can also serve people in remote regions.
I always look forward to joining Tzu Chi activities.
Giving without asking for anything in return, TIMA doctors are even grateful for having the chance to serve more people in need. Stomach cancer can be difficult to detect in its early stages. Its symptoms include stomach bloating, stomach aches, and loss of appetite. People's family history of cancer, diet, and daily habits can increase their chances of getting stomach cancer. For instance, people who drink, smoke, and prefer pickled and salty food are considered a high-risk group. Doctors suggest that people over the age of 40 undergo gastroscopy checks regularly. Let's learn more about this type of cancer.
坚持，生命就会无限。邀请所有的癌症病友一起来抗癌。
People are familiar with a celebrity who suffered from stomach cancer, Xu Huafeng. She appeared in Cancer Battle commercial. However, after removing her stomach and undergoing chemotherapy, she passed away. It is hard to detect stomach cancer. People must rely on endoscopy checks. Usually, symptoms appear in the later stages.
The patients might feel a loss of appetite and bloating of the stomach. Some will experience blood in their stool. That's caused by bleeding of the tumor in the body. Therefore, some people see blood in the stool. Then one could also suffer from anemia.
The high-risk groups include those with Helicobacter pylori, family history of stomach cancer, smokers, and drinkers. In addition, if one enjoys pickled or salty food, that increases the risk as well. If detected early, stomach cancer is not scary.
In the early stage of stomach cancer, the cancer cells have not spread to lymph nodes. We can use endoscopy and remove the cancerous part. This way, there would not be wounds and there is no need to remove the stomach.
Mr. Lin, who eats at irregular time, smokes, and drinks alcohol, found out he has stomach cancer while doing a follow-up check on his gastric ulcer. Mr. Huang, who likes to eat fried pickle food and drinking alcohol, also found out he has stomach cancer after suffering from frequent stomach aches.
I enjoy that kind of food. However, after I fell ill, I've changed my diet and habits.
Prevention is better than treatment. It's important to protect one's stomach.
Try not to eat food that are overly processed. Avoid salty food. Most people might think that they can just avoid salty food. However, when they prefer spicy food, they are also consuming a lot of salt. Therefore, they should be careful about this.
It is better to have a balanced diet that focuses on fresh and natural food.
In making processed food, they usually add a lot of salt. In addition, salty food, canned food, or instant noodle all contain a lot of salt.
To stay away from stomach cancer, one must watch their diet and safeguard their own health. Mount Agung in Bali, Indonesia, has been erupting for 2 weeks, forcing over 140,000 local residents to evacuate. However, with so many people staying at the shelters, the living conditions are unpleasant. To help the affected residents get through these tough times, Tzu Chi volunteers in Bali went to 4 shelters to give out relief supplies.
Bali is hot and humid, so it is not romantic to live in a tent in Bali. Volcano Agung has been erupting for 2 weeks, so people who are forced to stay in shelters have to put up with the bad living environment. To help them, Tzu Chi volunteers bring goods to them.
Today, on behalf of Tzu Chi, we bring some goods to the affected residents, such as 50 fans, 150 boxes of bottled water, and dried food.
40 volunteers formed 2 lines to carry the relief goods.
On behalf of all the villagers, I want to show my sincere appreciation to the volunteers, because these goods are very useful. We also hope the disaster will end very quickly. because we want to return to our homes as quickly as possible.
After visiting the shelters, the volunteers learned that the affected residents need bottled gas to cook. Therefore, they will consider this as they carry out further relief assistance.
The Taiwan Expo 2017 was recently held in Manila, Philippines. Tzu Chi University, Jingsi Publishing, and DaAi Technology hosted a booth at the expo, allowing more visitors the chance to learn more about their products from Taiwan.
The Taiwan Expo in Manila featured more than 170 exhibitors. DaAi Technology showed many of its products made from recycled materials, such as clothing and eyeglasses, which were some of the highlights of the show.
Normally, we have to understand all the time, all the day, every day is destroying our world. Somehow, we don't understand that part.
I hope you can share it also, the technology. You can share it with the local governments or some other stakeholders in the Philippines, because these are very worthy products that also protect Mother Earth.
In addition to introducing Jingsi books, other items are introduced, such as instant rice, which proved very popular. Also, some came to make donations, including students and businessmen.
Although it's just a little money, I really hope that it can help a lot.
You donate your time, your effort, and your money to do things like this for others, not for you. That is what attracts me to groups like you.
Tzu Chi University also took this opportunity to attract students to go overseas to study, especially those from low-income families which wish to continue their studies.
In Manila, we offer scholarships to help outstanding students who can't afford to continue their studies. If they apply for Tzu Chi University, we will provide appropriate scholarships to help them.
At this Taiwan Expo, Tzu Chi is showing its many different sides, such as environmentally friendly products, charitable works, and other services, showing the kindness and love originating from the people of Taiwan.
In the Philippines, the famous resort hotel in Manila, Resort World Manila, held a charity run and donated the proceeds to charity groups, including Tzu Chi. On this day, Tzu Chi volunteers not only came to receive its award, but they also used this occasion to promote environmental protection.
Resort World Manila is holding its annual charity run to fund 5 charity groups, including Tzu Chi.
Monthly kasi nagko-kolekta sa amin, and around 1 to 2 tons ang nako-kolekta natin per day.
Every month, Tzu Chi can collect 1 to 2 tons of resources at the resort. It's a huge number, and 60% of them are plastic bottles, which are also the resources Tzu Chi needs the most.
Mike supports Tzu Chi's determination to do recycling and its charity work to help the poor.
When care recipients receive money from us every month, they don't just sit at home. Instead, they come out to be volunteers and help us to do recycling. When the resort sees this, they are happy.
Tzu Chi volunteers do not just come to receive the award. They also do recycling and take this opportunity to promote environmental protection. They also encourage participants to recycle their plastic bottles.
We encourage the participants to drop plastic bottles in the recycling box next garbage bins.
After the event is over, Tzu Chi volunteers bring back bags of resources so the land can remain clean and beautiful.
A campaign of repairing second-hand wheelchairs for those in need has been going on in Japan for over 20 years. Besides donating the wheelchairs to those in need locally, some volunteers will help transport the fixed wheelchairs to other countries. Recently, 3 teachers and 5 students from Fukuoka Prefecture visited Taiwan, bringing with them wheelchairs to donate. They also brought their mechanical tools and materials so they can fix more second-hand wheelchairs in Taiwan to benefit those who need it the most.
An goes to a kindergarten. He smiles happily and says thank you to Masahiro Kuma, who fixed his wooden wheelchair.
This is a really wonderful opportunity to fix wheelchairs. Students cannot see the need of people with physical disabilities in factories.
Teachers and students of Ukiha Technical High School from Fukuoka, Japan, pay out of their pockets to deliver the materials and the tools, weighing 150 kilograms to Taiwan, and help repair wheelchairs for free. Take Kaisuke Watanabe for example. This is his third year to come to Taiwan. He knows it is inconvenient for physically challenged people not to have wheelchairs, so he is speeding up his repair.
I
want to speed up the repair. I want to repair the wheelchairs perfectly with my fastest speed.
They keep hammering and changing handles and wheels so the wheelchairs can function again. Although they speak different languages, they still help each other. And this is a witness to an international friendship between Taiwan and Japan.
A research team from National Taiwan Normal University has discovered a new Japanese stream tree frog native to Taiwan. As the two frogs look similar in appearance visually, it is through the amphibian's vocal acoustic that differences could be made. Let's find out more about this.
The Japanese stream tree frog is a species often found in Taiwan's streams. They are most active during the spring and summer months. Through detailed analysis, the research team at National Taiwan Normal University discovered a new clade of Japanese stream tree frog.
Just like our other living organisms, our discovery came from the DNA. We discovered there is a 16% difference between the original Japanese stream tree frog and the new Taiwanese clade. These differences cannot be spotted visually, however.
As the two clade of tree frogs are similar in appearance, the research team looked for ways to tell them apart. In the end, it was through their vocal acoustics. This is the calls of the original. This is the Taiwanese clade. Can you hear the difference?
One of them has a shorter call and has a variety of 2 or 3 different callings. We analyze these and determine, as they're especially sensitive to the calls of one another, they don't confuse each other during breeding season.
Upon a closer inspection, the research team has determined that their markings on their legs are a bit different, but it's still mainly identifiable by its croaks. The Japanese stream's acoustic is long and consistent, while the Taiwanese clade is varied in strong and weak sounds. The two are also separable by location as well. Taiwan has a fairly high degree of urbanization, yet biodiversity is still very important to the natural balance of the country. We should continue cherishing resources and care for the environment.
On Mid-Autumn Festival, an evening event was held at the 2017 TIMA convention for the participants to share some holiday festivities. At the event, TIMA members participated in sutra adaptation and singing, as well as sharing their medical experiences. We'll leave you with these images at the end of our program. Thank you for joining us. Goodbye.